There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous, my defense is impregnable, and I'm just ferocious.
I say more dumb things before 9 a.m. than most people say all day.
Peace up, A-Town. Yeah! Okay! Usher, 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 usher. Lil Jon! Yeah, 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 yeah.
You ever meet somebody and they're so boring you feel like they poisoned you? Like, you're talking to them and you're like, I feel like I'm dying right now. And I think you did it.
You got no sound, Russ.
Oh,
You got
here we go.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Now you got sound.
It's Friday. It's Friday. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is Football Talk with Russell Wayne. I am your host, Russell Wayne, and we are broadcasting live into the Detroit Lions news. We're broadcasting live into Mike the Bear Fan, and we're broadcasting live into the Detroit Lions Villain Squad. The Villain Squad. We just crossed over 13,000 followers. Please hit that follow button. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button on the video that you're watching right now, because we are here to talk about some football, not just me, with me and my compadre, Main Event Mike. How are you doing?
One more day, Russ.
One more day. And then what? Oh, because, yeah. All right, man.
I'm feeling kind of Wilson. It's kind of a Wilson Phillips day today.
A Wilson Phillips?
Hold on for one more day.
Oh my gosh. Thank goodness it is Friday. It is Friday and we get to do Pickem Friday. Pickem Friday here. And we got some other things that we want to be able to talk about. That's not what we wanted to talk about first, but we will make all of these picks. Is there anything you want to say about the picks before we get into the regular schedule part for today?
My record on last week's picks is so bad that I'm not even going to mention it. Like bad.
Like one?
Worse than the Bears bad.
Now, did you get any of them?
I did get some, but I'm
okay.
not as far
when
as I'm going to go.
That might be two. It could.
I mean, you could go over to our YouTube and check out last week's Friday show and find out exactly how bad I did if you give a crap that much. But I'm just suffice it to say, you did very well. GT did okay. And I tanked it. I was like 0-16 Lions on mine, but I did win. I did win a couple.
Yeah, and I did go back. I had to check because I knew that I picked the Bears to win that game. Going back, I did take the Arizona Cardinals in the points. So Sarah was correct. The paper doesn't lie. Don't argue with the paper. Mike's got it down. He writes it down. And yeah, and that is the dangers of pick'ems, especially when you're in, when you're betting Vegas style. Vegas is smart. They're smart as all get out right there. I mean, you get these point spreads that changes everything right there. So congratulations to the Bears for getting that victory, by the way. You got like a 1% chance of still making the playoffs. You need some things to happen, but you got to win out. And you're going to be playing these Atlanta Falcons who are fighting. These Atlanta Falcons are fighting for the division and the playoff spot themselves, but that's not where we wanted to start, Mike.
No.
What about the surprise from last night? And I put this in here right there. The Cleveland Browns demolished the New York Jets. And it wasn't just the demolishing of the New York Jets. Like, we thought this was going to be 2-0, or it might have been 0-0, and then like ended up in a 0-0 tie at the end because the defenses are the best in the world right here. But no, the Browns offense just lit up this top 10 awesome Jets defense. Talk about it, Mike.
Well, the Browns win 37-20. They were up 34-17 in the first half. The only NFL game in history with more than 50 points scored in the first half and zero touchdowns in the second half. So really a tale of two halves. Trevor Siemian, the offense looks so vanilla and basic. Cleveland was just teeing off on them through the whole game. That defense is elite. And they win the game 37-20. Wasn't even close. The fans in the stands shouting, Joe Flacco, go Flacco. And it's got to kill the Jets knowing that this guy was on their team at the beginning of the year, right? And they cut him. And now, boy, I bet they wish they had the the Cleveland Browns quarterback, Joe Flacco. But interesting little side note here. The Cleveland Browns can win out. And if Baltimore loses their last two games and Buffalo beats Miami, the Cleveland Browns will be the number 1 seed in the AFC. Amazing, Russ. And everybody's talking about a Browns-Lions Super Bowl. That just seems so far-fetched to me. I would love to see nothing more. I would love to see the Russell Wayne Bowl in February. That'd be amazing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, my family would be happy too.
But Thursday night football was a good first half, especially if you're a Cleveland Browns fan. And it just is an interesting story, Joe Flacco and these Cleveland Browns. What a defense. Kevin Stefanski, definitely a leading candidate for Coach of the Year. You can't give it to Schwartz because he's the defensive coordinator, but I mean, he's the real story there, right? That defense is the real story in Cleveland.
Use the Schwartz. I'm going to use
Schwartz be with you.
May the Schwartz be with you as I'm conjuring up my powers, and we might say, oh, look, it's Grove T right there. That look at that shirt. That is a fantastic shirt, my brother. How are you doing?
Man, I am doing excellent, y'all. What is happening, my brother?
Nice. Nice, man. I'm glad that we're here for Pickem Friday. And we started out this conversation. I know that you and I have an affinity for this Cleveland Browns team, and I put something right here. The Browns are the mirror image of the Lions in the AFC. And when I say mirror image, G, I'm talking about the Lions have an elite offense, and the defense is suspect, and they're very undervalued going into the playoffs. They are ranking teams that have more losses ahead of us in power rankings and stuff, but they're doing the same things to the Cleveland Browns. But they don't have an elite offense. They're the mere opposite of us. They have a suspect offense and a elite defense on that Cleveland. I want you to tell me, how are you feeling about these Cleveland Browns? Like, I mean, I know that we're supposed to be talking about the NFC North here all the time right here, but this was the game that was last night. So talk a little bit about these Cleveland Browns and how dangerous they could be in the AFC.
One of my most fond memories is seeing Flacco for the first time and blow out people at the doggone combine coming out of Delaware. I have been a Flacco fan from the beginning. He was quiet. He had the cool look, and he had a ridiculous arm.
It's my quarterback.
This brother has been killing it for them since he started playing. And I am so happy that the Cleveland Browns finally got a quarterback. That's all they needed. They were just like, to me, they were more like the Jets. You know, the Jets just could not find the quarterback, you know, and they really haven't, since Flacco has played, they have not played a good team. They have not played a well-balanced team since he has started. But they look amazing. Oh, my gosh, I was actually talking to one of my clients last night, and I'm like wondering, what were the odds at the beginning of the season of Detroit, Cleveland in the Super Bowl? Was it 100,000 to 1? Was it 1,000,000 to 1?
I have no idea, dude. That's like that's been on my Madden, like every one of my Maddens at the end of the year when I'm faking, picking new teams and rebuilding franchises. It was always to set up a Lions and Browns Super Bowl.
And we talked for years, man. I'm a huge man. I go back to Brian Sipe, you know, and then Kozar and what? I used to love the Cleveland Browns, man. So, yeah.
Man, me too.
When he was just a little G.
That's right.
You are watching Football Talk with Russell Wayne. We're talking to Grove Teague from And We Know Sports, talking about these Cleveland Browns. Put it in the comments. What do you think the chance Super Bowl is? I mean, just it's a long shot on both of them. So like you said, G, the odds of the two of them being in the Super Bowl got to be astronomical. But let's take a look real quick. You know who they've beaten this year? Cleveland Browns have beaten the Miami Dolphins. They've beaten the Baltimore Ravens. They've beaten the San Francisco 49ers. Those are arguably the three best teams in the league. And the teams they've lost to, oh, yeah, by the way, also playoff teams, Seattle, L.A., Baltimore.
Playoffs?
So definitely Cleveland's got a shot. I mean, that defense is legit. It's real. And if, like I laid out a minute ago, if they win out and Baltimore happens to lose and stumble on their last two games, all it's going to take is Buffalo to beat Miami, and the Cleveland Browns will have the number one seed. Pretty amazing stuff.
It's almost like people are going to have like Tourette syndrome trying to figure this thing out, a little twitch, because like everything that they say about some of these other teams, like, you know, this team at home that we're playing, the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, the national media will over-apologize for this team from beginning to the end of the year. Oh, well, the Dallas Cowboys, they can make it all the way. And then the Dallas Cowboys haven't played anybody. And the teams that they have lost to have been good teams. They have not done well against good teams. The same shit that they say about the Lions haven't played good teams. The same thing can be said about the Dallas Cowboys. But the thing can't be said about the Cleveland Browns in that situation, because they've beaten good teams. They have a nice little mark of good teams. They've beaten some of the best teams. When you talk about the San Francisco 49ers and the Baltimore Ravens on the recency bias here. I don't know. I think this Browns team is an undersold team to come out of the AFC, and I think they can beat all of the teams. What is it? Patrick Mahomes that's left over there, and Lamar Jackson. He's already beaten Lamar Jackson. That defense that's proven that they can stop anybody. So, man,
I don't know. I have to be careful because of the 17-game season. It takes a little while for every single one of the 32 teams to find out who they really are. And so when you're talking about the last stretch, I'd say maybe like the last 8 games. That's what I'm looking at primarily, especially Baltimore. Man, we saw them give up so many games in the beginning of the season because Lamar was not playing the way he was playing when he played against us. Okay, it's almost like he figured it out, type of situation, So, but I hear what you're saying, most definitely.
Well, I mean, it's like if you get into the dance, I mean, it's already been proven. There's data to provide that 7 seeds can win, 6 seeds can win, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you make it into the dance, if you show up to the prom with your tuxedo, there's a chance you might get lucky. There's a chance that you might get lucky if you show up to the prom with the tuxedo on, but you got to show up to the prom.
But where did you get that tux from, though?
I mean, I don't know.
That tux, if it's too tight, if it's too loose, if it's got holes in it, it's not just an ordinary tux. It's that last second tux that you got, and that's why I say that final stretch to me, who's getting hot at the right time? We have, all 3 of us have seen those doggone 9-7, 9-6 teams and all of that kind of stuff win Super Bowls. So that's basically what I'm looking at.
Didn't we show up in a limo? Yeah. How are you going to show up to them playoffs? How are you going to show up? Are you going to have the holy tuxedo that you borrowed from your Uncle Rico?
Right. Yeah,
are you?
You got the wedding singer tux on? You got that one on?
The little puppies, the little puppies, maybe lighter, maybe not a black tuxedo, maybe a different color, different shade.
Dad's hand-me-down suit that is one size too big.
Right.
You know how much this thing cost in the 60s? Like, I don't care. I don't want to wear that thing.
Man, we have some volatile comments going on over here in the comment section, Ross.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have any of them? You got some starred, man.
Well, we got this new guy here, Turbo Duran, who says the Lions suck. And he goes on to say that Detroit is a nasty city to live in. Well, hey, Turbo, what team do you represent? And what wonderful crystal-laid palace do you live in to go ahead and throw stones at the great city of Detroit? Yeah, it's had its ups and downs, but it's tough people. It's a tough town. I don't think you know a damn thing about what you're talking about. Why don't you put it in the comments what team you represent so we can fire back on you a little bit? It's nice to stand up there in the tower and sling arrows at us. That's just fine, but why don't you step up to the plate?
Yeah.
But we know what they're really doing, though, Mike. Don't we? Hold on for that comment. Take that comment down for a second. Here's you, Turbo. Yeah. This is you right now. This is you. This is what you're doing. You're crying. You're crying. You're crying. The tough talk that you throw out there. My team's 11-4. I don't know about your team. My team is 11-4, relevant right here and right now. So if you represent one of the other teams in the NFC or the NFC North, I'm sorry about your luck. You might be fighting for your life in this game. Let's talk about this one, War Week. This is what you really should be worried about, especially if you represent one of these teams. 7-8. This is a playoff game right here, guys. This is a playoff elimination game. The loser is going to kick rocks and go home and start thinking about next year. The winner doesn't even have a guaranteed shot to get in the playoffs, but that's the only way you're getting in. You got to go through each other. We're going to Minneapolis, to the Bank Stadium, represented by all that money. Vikings with who at quarterback? Jaron Hall. Jaron Hall coming to the rescue. But you still got Justin Jefferson. You still got a top 10 defense. And then the Packers. Well, you got a quarterback. You found a quarterback.
It's my quarterback.
Love looks like he's going to be pretty good. So I think that they have the advantage in that game. What do you think? How about you, G? What do you think that War Week?
You know what? I don't know. I don't know anything about this Jaren brother. I know Mullen was putting up a lot of yards, you know, and he had the offense looking all right. You know, they was looking pretty powerful. You know, so I don't know anything about this switch. I do like that Vikings defense. I think the Packers might be too complete for this Vikings team, though. You know, a bit too veteran-like as far as on the defense. You know, but the Packers' offense kind of sputters. You know, so I'm going with the home team on this one, even with the new quarterback.
All right, well, we're going to get to the predictions at the end of this show. We're going to talk about these matchups, though, right, Russ? That what we're going to talk about? Which game we want to start with first?
Well, that's what. Well, there we go. I mean, I was we're on Packers versus Vikings, and when I was looking at I just wanted to comment on your Nick Mullins. He did the all right with the offense. That dude dropped back and chucked the ball in the air, and you know what? He threw 4 picks, but he also has Justin Jefferson, so he also had 4 really, really long completions too. But that dude was just dropping back and going, Justin, save me! And 2 of them went to Kirby. Like, I mean, I think that there's a good reason they benched this kid. This dude is just like, you know, throwing caution to the wind. I mean, with a top 10 defense, if Jaron Hall can go out there and not suck, I think that they might be all right. I mean, they could be all right. I still think that Green Bay wins this game. I think they have more experience, but we'll have to see what the point spread is. I don't even know what we're going to pick on our lock picks at the end of this, Mike.
Yeah, and just to your point there, the Minnesota offense is ranked 10th in the league. Can you believe that? Their defense ranked 13th in the league. So,
Yeah,
not a top 10 defense.
They look sweet against everybody, Mike, except for us.
Mm-hmm,
Because they could not run the ball. They can run the ball on everybody. But they needed 3 guys to run to get 17 yards rushing against us.
Yeah, that 400 yards is very, very deceiving from their offense. That was a lot of desperation, Chuck Ducks at the end trying to get back to the game.
Doesn't change it. Minnesota offense ranked 10th. Green Bay defense ranked 23rd. Defense.
They can't stop the run.
Defense is the Green Bay Packers' Achilles heel, right? Their offense is doing just fine. Jordan Love's a first-year starter. He's actually rolling. He's got some very young, talented skill position players. But defense is where they lack. They're ranked 23rd. Their Green Bay offense ranked 17th. And as we said, the Minnesota defense ranked 13th. So it's going to be an intriguing matchup when Green Bay's on offense. How can this defense put pressure on Jordan Love? And, Jordan Love is not Jared Goff. He's more mobile. He could throw from different arm angles. He's got some tools that Jared Goff doesn't. Jared Goff needs to be kept clean. Jordan Love can hurt this team from off platform, moving out of the pocket, manipulating the pocket. He can. So I really like Green Bay's chances in this game, even though Minnesota's at home favored by 1.
So what is this? So let's paint a picture here of what each team looks like as the winner, right? So I'll start this exercise, and you guys can take it whatever. But if the Minnesota Vikings are to win the game, they're getting pressure. They're getting pressure with that confusing style defense that they like to use, where they either rush 8 or bring 8 out in coverage and only send 3. They're doing one or the other, and you can never tell which. That is a very frustrating defense to go against. It was really nice to see the way that the Lions were able to block that out on a perimeter and everything like that. They were able to handle that. But that could be frustrating to Jordan Love. They could get to him. They could force him into some mistakes. So if they are to win the game, it is Justin Jefferson going off on the offensive side of the ball. On defense, they're getting to Jordan Love. They're confusing him. They're making him make desperate throws and forcing him into mistakes. If Minnesota is to win that game, we'll turn it over to you, GT. play this game with us.
You know, I've been saying for years, you know, how aggravated I am at the NFL as it's so pass happy. I think that's the problem that the Lions bring to teams like this. And the team that is the most balanced in this Minnesota Green Bay game will win the game. I mean, passing and running, you know, and good defense. You know, you ain't got to shut nobody down, but make plays, you know, contain them. And I think the Minnesota Vikings have the best chance because, just like Mike was saying, that offense and that defense is right there to be balanced. You know, I think that's where Minnesota went away from the run against us. They couldn't get nothing going. You know, our run defense is ridiculous. Minnesota Vikings are fast on defense, but they couldn't get pressure against our starting five. Whenever we have our starting five in there, that's the problem.
Right.
Green Bay don't have that. You know, regardless of how mobile Love is, that speed that Minnesota has on the edge and with their linebackers and stuff like that, I think they'll be able to contain him, and that's why I'm going the Minnesota way.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that we can't overlook is the loss of TJ Hawkinson for the Minnesota Vikings. That's going to be so huge. And now, is it confirmed, though, Jaron Hall is going to start?
Yes, that is it. That is confirmed. I did read that this morning.
What's a young quarterback's best friend? A good run game, which they don't have, and a good tight end, who they don't have now. Oliver, the best backup tight end in the league, inarguably the best backup tight end in the league. But that's not going to be enough. Jordan Addison was a limited participant in practice yesterday. It's an ankle injury with so much riding on this game. I fully expect Jordan Addison to be out there giving it a shot. We'll see how that goes. But Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, these guys are not slouches, right? JJ, the best in the league. Jordan Addison, the real deal rookie, going to be a real problem in the future. So I definitely like Minnesota's chances in this game, but I just think that missing Hawkinson, having Jaron Hall under center is going to be a tough row to hoe for Minnesota, even if they are at home.
A tough row to hoe.
That's an old saying, bro.
A tough row to hoe. I thought we call that row
Dort Highway.
That's Dort Highway.
That's where all the hoes are. That's the row full of hoes.
I just would.
Mike's like, GT's like, man, I can't believe I came on this show today. Guys, I'll be talking like that. I can't believe it. But I'm looking through there, but we can move on, man. That was a good. Anybody have any more parting words on this war week? We can always gloss back into it if we want to, but.
I just want to get a GoFundMe started so we can buy Hendon Hooker jerseys for all the ladies on Dort Highway. So it just says Hooker on the back of their shirt. That would be awesome.
Oh my gosh, man. Yeah, we're trying. As you can see, we're actively looking for sponsors right now. I'm sure that you would want to sponsor us after all of our Dort Highway talk.
Here's another good caveat to the Minnesota game by our good friend Chad. The suspension of Jair Alexander. Their best DB, not going to be in the game, and not because he's hurt, but because he bum rushed the coin toss, and now Matt LaFleur's got to, impose a penalty. Bad timing, Matt LaFleur. Make him run laps or something. This is a boneheaded move. If Justin Jefferson feasts the way Chad says he's going to, and the Minnesota Vikings win this game, you can pin this right on Matt LaFleur, in my opinion.
Now, wait a minute. He has a perfectly good explanation for that, Mike. I mean, that's totally legit, isn't it? Straight from the mouth of Matt LaFleur right there. The explanation. Right. I have no idea. But they've been playing without him anyway. They've been winning games without Jair Alexander. He's been injured. That was his first game back, wasn't it? What's up, Kevin Spencer?
I think he had two. What's up, Pastor?
Pastor Kevin in the comments. It's good to hear from you, brother. Man, so Brent, where are your seats at? Oh, Chad's going to be at the game. That's pretty good. Chad is one of the OGs right here from the show. I mean, he was watching us when nobody was watching us. It was like it was me, you, and Chad, right? Or it might have just been me and Chad at the beginning of talking with Russell Wayne. But Chad is going down to Dallas, and he's got all this fancy HD camera stuff that he's going to get us some footage that we're going to be able to share exclusive from Jerry's World. And Chad, we appreciate you for going out there and getting that for us. And he's also got some good live.
Let's read a couple of comments. Let's read a couple comments, then we'll transition right to that Detroit-Dallas matchup. What do you think?
Sure.
All right, we got Rajneesh in the house. He's a Vikings fan. He says, "What up, fellas? Cowboys by 20." Rajneesh being Rajneesh. Thank you for the comments, sir. Also, we got Andrew Isham in the house says, "I do think we can upset Dallas, but we cannot let them get going early in the passing game." And that's a big call out. We can't let the Cowboys get off to an early lead where they could tee off on Jared Goff because we're constantly throwing the ball. We need to establish the run. And these are things we're going to talk about, Andrew. Thank you so much for the comment. SDY3116 says, "I live in the Upper Peninsula. Let's go, Lions." Love it. And I already answered that question for Brent, and I think that's it, man. Let's move on to Dallas and Detroit.
Dallas. Well, it's Dallas, and we're going to be in Dallas, right? Okay, there we go. It's revenge week. We remember, 2014 seems like a long time ago to some people, but we've only had like 3 playoff appearances in the last 10 years. So we remember Dallas. We remember, and Jared Goff is going down there.
It's my quarterback.
To avenge us, and he wasn't even part of that.
It's my quarterback.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And that's long-term memory. If you want to just talk about short-term memory, they beat us last year in Dallas. We were winning 10-6 at halftime. They came back 124-10. So we never even scored in the second half. So that's where this revenge comes in for me. DeAndre Swift's first game back, if you remember, from injury, and we all expected him to light the world on fire, and he just tanked, laid an egg. But this is a different Lions team. The offensive line is going to be healthy going into this game, and we can run the ball. And we saw what Buffalo did to Dallas's defense with the run game. If we can somehow muster up that kind of performance, we'll win this game going away.
The Cowboys are undefeated at home, and they're a different animal at home. Dak Prescott plays at a very, very high level at home with CeeDee Lamb. That's going to be very interesting to see if what they can do, if anything, to stop that high-powered offense, because it's our defense that is suspect. I think our offense is going to be able to move the ball, because when we have Frank the Tank out there, we're a different team. So this is big, because. And I'm going to turn this one over to GT on this one with this thought right here. But this is a game that people at the beginning of the year said it's an L. It's an L. It's just an L. They looked right at it. I said it at the beginning of the season when I'm predicting. Mike said it at the beginning of the season. You just put this as an L. Dallas too good. This becomes an important game for that reason. Now, is this important psychologically for them to win this game just for that thought of it? Do they need this win in Dallas for confidence against good teams?
No, I think that's for us. They're in the playoffs. It is one game at a time. We want to go and take this doggone game. We want to prove to ourselves that we are the team that we know that we are.
We're going to bite a kneecap off.
That's right. We know that Dallas has pet zebras. Okay, that to me, that's the most powerful. That's the most powerful aspect of them at home. Okay,
Playoffs.
I am extremely enthusiastic about our defense now being aggressive as opposed to chilling and staying back to see what the offenses are going to do. I love the attack mode. I'm hoping we get CJ, GJ, and Houston back. Hopefully, I don't know. But regardless of that, I'm loving how Melifonwu and Branch and Hutchinson and Irvin and Pascal and Kaminsky. I'm loving how these cats, Campbell. I'm loving how these cats are playing. And Dallas can't stop the run. That doggone Gibbs speed and that Montgomery power and speed scares people. If you don't play us twice a year, you don't have no idea that doggone speed on the film is what you about to face. I'm telling you, they going to get scared by Gibbs' speed, by J-Mo's speed, by doggone Laporta's speed, and St. Brown's quickness. They're not ready, y'all. They're not ready.
So they're not ready. And do the Lions need to win in Dallas? This is something that we want to ask everybody, and I want Mike to answer this question, but we want you to answer it out there. Put that into the comments. Do the Lions need this win in Dallas for confidence to know they can beat good teams? Mike, go ahead.
I say no. I think that's a fan-generated sentiment. I think that's a fans-generated sentiment. The players don't look at it that way. They want to win every game regardless because they know damn well the Carolina Panthers will come in here and beat you. The Arizona Cardinals will come in here and beat you, and that has no bearing when you go back the next week and beat a division leader. And you know what I mean? So they know. No, I think this is all fan hyperbole. Yeah. Do they need it for confidence? Not at all. It's a great question, though, for the fans, but I don't think that has any bearing. They want to win this game to win this game, and they don't care about the seeding. They've already wrapped up the division. They just want to win out. And, there's a lot of incentives in a lot of guys' contracts for yardage and wins and things like that. They have all kinds of reasons to win, and confidence to beat good teams. I don't think that's one of them. That's just my opinion.
And my thought on it, and we want to ask you, we want to make sure that you guys out there answering this question, put that in the comments. So the Lions need this win in Dallas for confidence to know they can beat the good teams. And I don't think that they need it as a team. I think it's good for podcasters like us,
right?
That we can have that chip. Oh, you see, they beat a good team, and then we can say, yeah, you see, but they don't care because they're out there taking it one game at a time. That's not just a thing that they say. It's that you actually have to put yourself in that mindset, or you're done. You can't be looking ahead. They don't care about Minnesota in week 18 right now. It's like 100% focus on Dallas. Only we talk about the future like that and draft picks and stuff like that. They don't give a shit. They're thinking Dallas. That's it.
Right. And this comment and this question is sparking some comments over here too. We got Jordan who says we want this statement win, but it won't wreck our season if we don't. And then I like James's comment here too. If Dallas blows us out, it would most certainly affect their confidence. Now that I might agree with, right? You get blowed out, that affects your confidence. Would you agree with that too? That even though the players might not look at it through that lens like we're talking about, would a blowout loss affect the team's confidence, you think?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, nobody wants to be blown out, especially on their way to the doggone playoffs, and then that just gives an open door type of thing for the players to be listening to all of the media stuff throughout the year as far as we don't play nobody and all that kind of stuff. Hey, to be blown out by this team, that ain't like being blown out by the Ravens. Okay, right. I do not think that the Dallas Cowboys are one of the best teams in the NFL.
But gee, look at the trio of wide receivers. They got Michael Gallup, Brandon Cooks, and CeeDee Lamb. I mean, Tony Pollard. They got a high-powered offense.
Their receivers are better than Baltimore's.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
It's the complete game. That's what I'm looking at, the complete game, and they are too Dak heavy. It's balanced ball is going to win this game, fellas, and we have it.
So now that we've thrown that thought out there, because this is totally a PTSOL thought, because it's only coming out the one way, right? So how about we do it the other way? What happens if the Lions go down to Dallas and we blow them out because we're just able to control the line of scrimmage? Their offensive and defensive linemen are quick and soft, and we just got some big guys. We can play some bully ball, go down there, limit possessions, force Dak into a couple mistakes, and then we blow them out. Let's say we whoop them 31-10. What does that do for the confidence? Like, because that's possible too. Because
to me, it's just like the doggone emblem I'm wearing, my brother. Okay, we are the primetime beasts. Dallas is undefeated at the crib. But when it comes to 9, 10 o'clock, ain't nobody playing like us in prime time. And I feel, man, 28-17 is our win. I feel that we blow them out. It's just like what Batman does to criminals, at night. He could just hit them one time. No, he's going to beat them down. I want to make sure that you know what happened here. Woo! I'm so
Oh, man, I appreciate you looking out for us, Chad. So we got, 26 people watching on YouTube right now and only 16 likes. If you're watching right now, whatever you're watching on, it could be YouTube, it could be Facebook, you could be on Detroit Lions News Podcast. Doesn't even have to be our page. Wherever you're watching from, just reach down and hit that like button because that's free. It doesn't cost you anything to do that. And if you're enjoying this, you're obviously a football fan if you're watching us. I don't know why else you'd be watching us. I don't know. GT's extremely good looking. That's one of the, look at that. That side profile, like with the sun rays coming out the side of his head. I like that.
You like that?
So does Kirk Cousins. Everyone has everyone pedigree the like button. Ooh yeah, the Macho Man Randy Savage climbs to the top rope, brother, and comes down with the Macho Man elbow like one of his victims smashes it with the Macho Man. Yeah, and then he goes and eats a Slim Jim. Yeah, that's what the Macho Man Randy Savage does it right there, brother. Dig it. Tina loves us. Even though I know GT thinks I'm a little bit corny, but that's just me. I am a little bit corny, and I like that. I like being a little bit corny, but we are in Detroit Rock City. And for the first time, we don't even know what to do with our hands in Detroit. We don't know. We never had a winner here. Oh, you guys might get bounced in the first round. It's like we don't even know what the first round feels like, okay? Some of us, going back to like 2007, we're happy to be in the dance. We're just happy to be here right now. And we got a team that seems like they want to go on to bigger and better things. Like this is just a step in the road. And we're just along for the ride, man. We playing with house money at this point. He delivered a home playoff game, GT. Main event, Mike. Dan Campbell delivered a home playoff game to the city of Detroit. If the season ended at that point, that's already more than anything any other coach, any other quarterback has done since the 90s. So, what are you bitching about? Well, they might lose. Yeah, they might lose. So what? We've been losing for years.
I feel sorry for the Dallas Cowboy fans. I feel sorry for them. When the Lions are in the position that all we have is what we know, let's go out there and show what we know. Mm-hmm. The very first game of the season, to me, is a perfect example and analogy of not knowing what to expect. Just go out there and do our thing. Mm-hmm. And that's the Lions team, I believe, that you're going to see. The only difference is the defense is a lot more aggressive, and we know how powerfully balanced our offense is. Doggone Goff is a magician with his hands when it comes to play action. Oh, my gosh, Sure. I'm telling you, all we have to do is execute and totally ignore them doggone pet zebras by playing clean ball. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's it. Right. They're way too Dak heavy, and their defense is overrated. They look good, but they're overrated.
You've got Detroit with the 3rd ranked offense in the league, and Dallas with the 6th ranked defense in the league. So basically, it's a wash. I mean, these guys are going to counteract. You got Detroit's defense ranked 15th and Dallas's offense ranked 6th. So very even matchup. This is going to be a battle, y'all. This is going to be a battle in Dallas. You can count on it. So
well,
hey,
we got to let's get into this other one, Mike,
Okay.
because I didn't realize that we were already at 11:42 right here, and we do got to get into our picks. So,
Yep. So go ahead.
Yeah, there we go. We got the Falcons playing the Bears too. I mean, I know it's not as high profile of a matchup. The Bears still have a little bit of a chance to get into the playoffs.
Playoffs. Playoffs.
I do have a couple of notes left on Detroit and Dallas, so I'd like to get them out because I think they're relevant. Okay. We were hoping to see C.J. Gardner-Johnson. He will not play. He is listed as out. James Houston, of course, listed as out, not ready to be back on the field yet. Here's the big one. Here's the big one, though. Cam Sutton, listed as questionable with a toe injury. He's our number 1 corner as it is, and he's not even an elite corner. An incredible trio of receivers over there for Dak Prescott. It's going to be very, very hard for this Detroit secondary to keep up with those 3 receivers, especially if Cam Sutton is not at 100%. I just wanted to get those things out there because I think they're really big, especially if our Friday crew likes to do some betting and they take the things that we say into account.
Yeah. So, I mean, the Lions to get a huge boost with players returning from injury before the playoffs, maybe before the playoffs, but not in
tomorrow.
This game. So we can't count on any of those right there. And that is a shame that sways that probably even move in the points line for everything. But let's at least gloss over, at least get this game right here. This is a playoff elimination game. Another one. Even though it's the Bears don't have a great chance. They need like pretty much everybody to lose the rest of their games while they win theirs. And they need certain people to win and lose. So they still have a shot. It's still there. They're not technically eliminated. And neither are the Falcons. Falcons are right in the mix, even to try to win that division. And I think they even have head up against their own division opponents to try to win that division. Bijan Robinson, great young running back. What do you think about this matchup, Mike?
I love Bear Down Mike's comment. Justin Fields is either auditioning for Atlanta's starting job next year or he's proving to Chicago that he is the guy. You've got the Chicago offense ranked 20th in the league against the Atlanta defense ranked 9th in the league. So it seems that Atlanta would have the edge there. You've got the Chicago defense ranked 12th, which is a real testament to Matt Eberflus. When you look up and down the rosters, for them to be ranked 12th, that guy's coaching the defense out of his mind after they had to let the defensive coordinator go early in the season. The Atlanta offense, even though with the crappy quarterback play, they're still ranked 16th in the league in offense. They have a solid running game. They have a very solid top 10 defense. Chicago does have the luxury of playing at home, however, and that's big for Chicago. Atlanta, however, has a lot more to play for, and at this time of the year, I tend to lean towards those teams that have a lot to play for rather than those that don't. I think Atlanta's going to go into Chicago and win this game. That's what I think. What do you think, G?
Once upon a time, Atlanta was the top team that was trying to get Lamar. Y'all remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Imagine that.
There are so many NFL teams that all they need is a quarterback. And Atlanta is definitely
My quarterback.
Heineken kind of blew me away last week against the Colts. I didn't see that.
Heineken.
Atlanta is one of the teams that I selected to watch all year because I was really enthusiastic about seeing Bijan on the NFL level. He is amazing when they know how to use him, But yeah, I highly agree with Mike, man. I'm with the Falcons in this game. I think they got a lot more to fight for, and again, they offer me that balance thing. I think the Bears' offense is Fields heavy, so they go as far as Fields goes.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with that take right there, G, a lot when it comes to the Bears. I think that it is all on fields how this game is going to go. This Bears defense, I mean, they play Bears defense. They lose Roquan Smith, insert the next guy up. It's the way that they're coached on that defense or whatever it is. Montez Sweat is obviously a good long-term piece for them. They have a great young secondary that includes guys like Jaquan Brisker and Kyler Gordon and Tyreek Stevenson that are just great young pieces that are going to be cornerstones right there. And this team reminds me a lot of the Lions team last year where we started out not so good and all of a sudden these young players started getting it a little bit. And this is a dangerous Chicago Bears team at the end of the season. And I think it all hinges on how well Justin Fields can play his run to pass. And he has been getting better there. There's no doubt about it. When he escapes the pocket, I've seen him a couple of times bait that linebacker to move up and dump the ball right over his head into a playmaker's hand. That's something that he did not do last year. He was always running the football, trying to take his quick 7, quick 10, putting his shoulder down, putting himself at risk for injury. So I think this is going to be a huge game, and it's all going to hinge on what will happen with Justin Fields in 2024. I think he's going to be a Bear. I think he's going to be a Bear. There's no reason for them to even move him. They could draft a quarterback at number 1 overall, and Justin Fields could still be on the team. He's on the 4th year of a rookie deal. Bears are in total control of that situation. Ryan Poles has complete advantage in that situation with the contract with Justin Fields. Just keep him. Draft your quarterback, whatever. You have a lot of options right there. But I think the Bears are going to win this game.
Speaking of the Bears, thank you. I like Vildor. Okay, y'all just threw him away. I like the role that he's playing here in Detroit. He puts cats down.
He puts them down. I love that call. He wraps
like
his arms around him, and he gets him down. No nonsense. I agree with that take 100%. He only had 2 tackles in the game last week, but they were big. They stopped a first down gain. If they get any yards after the catch on those 2 stops, it could change the game. So I agree. Kindle Vildor doing a great job as we pick him up off the trash heap from the Chicago Bears. We do have a really good comment in here. Not good because it's actually a terrible comment. It's by James Luke, who says, pure nonsense. You need something to talk about, so you make up something. I'm not sure which part of that you're talking about, but I do know that you're right. Thank you for your crappy comment.
Yeah. Be a little more specific with that. I mean,
whatever it is you're talking about, you're right.
You are right. Like if you knew how we actually made up our things to talk about, you would probably be you're more right than you think that you are.
Hey, genius. Do you see the ESPN logo anywhere on your screen? Get the hell out of here.
We're not professionals. All we do is you know what I do on this? We have 4 teams to talk about. It's called Google. What is Google saying about these teams? What is everybody talking about? That's what I want to know. What do you guys give a shit about with your team? What's the thing that people are talking about? And when it comes with the Chicago Bears, it's all about what's going to happen to Fields. What's going to happen to Fields? Nobody cares about this year. Nobody's going, well, if they win out, here's the playoff scenarios. None of that. There's like one article in there about how they can make the playoffs. Everything else is about, hey, how you doing? What's going to happen to Fields? Right? Vildor, LMAO.
Our good friend Woody is a Bear fan.
Yeah.
Bear Down Mike says Vildor was terrible. He blew so many coverages.
Right.
Yeah, well.
You got to know what position to put a cat in.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe if you had the right coaches that could put him in those right positions, then that would be all right.
They're top heavy at that position. You know, you were just saying earlier, Russ, they got a really nice young defensive backfield.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, I don't think it was
Cole Kmet did not practice. Darnell Mooney did not practice yesterday. Probably not going to go. That's going to hurt Justin Fields. Look for Justin Fields to run a lot. I think I'm going to bet the over on Justin Fields rushing total. Just because he's got those 2 main weapons out for him. They're going to double cover DJ Moore. Then what do you got? Tyler Scott, equipment, the cheaper version of the St. Brown brothers.
Come on, man.
They better use
Oh,
Herbert.
you're doing Equiminius all dirty like that. How you doing that?
Khalil Herbert had a big game last week. He had over 100 yards. So maybe if they get that running game going, but Atlanta's a tough run defense. So I'm going to look for Justin Fields to get out of the pocket on passing downs when he can't find anybody because, Jeff Okuda's out there lurking.
That is right.
What's the spread on that game, Mike? What is it? Just out of curiosity.
I think it's 3.
Three? Why don't we go ahead and pick that one first, and then you can just cross it off of your list there.
I loved what you're thinking, but it's actually okay. We'll start with that one since it's actually the second one on the paper. Let's get into these predictions. Are you ready? You're watching Football Talk with Russell Wayne. Be sure to follow us on Facebook. It's Lions Villain Squad on Facebook. If you're watching on YouTube, or if you're not, please go over and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's at Main Event 365. We are talking with our good friend GT from the And We Know Sports program, which can be found on the High Dimension Network and Roku TV. It's a mouthful, but believe me, it's worth it if you look it up. And be sure to follow myself. It's at Main Event Mike on all social media platforms because I'm a self-promoting ass. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look at our predictions. Let's take a look at our predictions from last week. GT, my friend, your record, do you know what it was?
What?
You had 7 wins and 8 losses last week.
Oh!
You were about running even with the best handicappers in the league, in the world, actually, around 50%. While the Swami, our own Russell Wayne, was 9-6 last week. So good job, Russ. You're crushing it all year long. And you also hit your lock pick, by the way. So 9-6, really good. GT, you were 7-8. Mike was 3-12. Anyway, moving on.
We're gonna buy the kneecap off.
What?
We're gonna buy the kneecap. We're gonna buy the kneecap off.
Remix. Right.
No, you're not getting off that easy. I heard that. What was that?
We're gonna buy the kneecap. We're gonna buy the kneecap.
3-12.
I'm just saying I had as many wins as the Bears last year. That's all I'm saying.
Man.
I missed winning $375 on a $10 bet last week by alternating the doggone spread of the Lions game to 6.5. I picked the doggone Ravens. I picked the Buccaneers. I took the Giants with the spread. Man, I had a 5-car parlay.
And that half point killed you with
that
the
half
line.
point. The doggone blocked extra point, Mike. Oh.
Well, we also all 3 lost. Seattle at Tennessee plus 3.5 was the spread, and it was only a 3-point win by Seattle. So all 3 of us lost that game by the hook too, by the half point. So
that's Vegas, man. That's the dangers of Vegas. Everybody, you gotta like.
All right, first game on the slate. Here we go. We're running out of time, so let's get this done here. Atlanta Falcons at the Chicago Bears -3. Russell, who you got?
Oh, say that you just
Atlanta Falcons at the Chicago Bears -3. The Bears are -3. They're favored by 3 points at
Give
home.
me them Bears. Give me the Bears -3.
And GT,
Yep. I'm taking the Falcons with that.
you're taking the Falcons.
Falcons win by at least 4.
All right, so the Falcons are actually getting 3 points. Okay. So I am also going to take the Falcons. Next game on the docket, Detroit at Dallas. And remember, folks, you can't spell Dallas without back-to-back L's. Detroit at Dallas -5.5.
Woo. Give me Detroit all the way.
You got a 5.5 point spread. So if this game is close, I like that pick. Go ahead, Russ. What do you like?
Yeah, I think that's safe. Give me Detroit and the points.
I'm going to take Dallas -5.5. Just too hard of a place for the Lions to go down there and win. It's a good team. You can crucify me in the comments if you want. I just think 5.5 is too many. Or not enough. Actually, if this was a 7-point spread, I'd probably take Detroit. All right, next. This is War Week. This is the biggest one on the slate, honestly. Green Bay at Minnesota, -1. Both teams playing for their playoff lives. Minnesota favored by a point at home. We'll start with you, GT.
I'm going Minnesota by 2. They
All
win
right.
by 2.
Well, they're going to need to for you to win. Go ahead, Russ. What do you got?
I'm going to take Green Bay in the point.
I'm going to take Green Bay in the point as well. All right, next. This is the biggest game. The most implications probably would be Green Bay at Minnesota, but this is probably the best game on the slate. The Miami Dolphins at the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens favored by 3.5 at home. I'll start with this one. I am going to take I don't know. I guess we'll start with you, G, because I don't know. This one's hard.
On And We Know Sports last night, which will be uploaded on YouTube tonight. Hey, all you got to do is put that ellipsis first, the ... right before the And We Know, and then it comes right up. It'll be at 7 o'clock. But for the first time, my hawk was Jason Sanders, the kicker for Miami last week. But I am taking the Baltimore Ravens in this game. I am scared of that kicker, but I'm taking the Ravens.
3.5 is the spread, Russ. Baltimore's at home against the Finns.
And they're at home. They're at home. Give me the Baltimore Ravens, man. That defense is too good.
Kyle Hamilton was injured last week.
Nothing.
He was injured last week. He did make it back into the game, but he's definitely banged up. And I just think the two-pronged running and passing attack of Miami, I'm going to go ahead and take the fish. New England at Buffalo -13.
Oh, my God.
Russ, I know you love them point spreads. 13 divisional matchup. New England won a game last week. They were underdogs, but they won. And this week they are going to Buffalo, and they are a 13-point underdog. Who you got?
Oh, my gosh. Give me Bill Belichick and all them points, baby, in a division matchup. Giving me 13.5. Get out of here with
13.
that.
Only 13.
13 points? You're giving 13 points? You can whip my ass and I'll still win.
What do you got, G?
Oh, man, give me the Patriots. Easy, dude. No, that's way too many points.
I'm taking Buffalo because they're on a mission. And New England's just in the way. They're going to win by 2 touchdowns.
We're going to buy the kneecap. We're going to buy the kneecap off.
Against them Chargers last week. Woo!
Keep in mind, folks, I picked 3 out of 15 last week. Okay. Las Vegas at the Mustache at Indianapolis -3.5. Indy lost it for me last week. You both bet against them and won. I took Indy and lost. It's 3.5 points. The Colts are favored over the Raiders, and the Colts are at home. Russell, who you got?
Oh my gosh, that hook! You hook! Oh gosh, you got. But it's the Mustache -3.5.
Correct. They're favored by 3.5.
Oh my gosh, the mustache is feeling good. Is it a 3.5 hook mustache? I don't know. That hook might be too much, but give me the mustache -3.5.
I'm going to take the Raiders because of that half point.
Yeah, I'm loving what Antonio is doing.
A little too much, huh?
To this Raiders team. I'm with the Raiders.
All right. I love that pick.
Too big of a hook on that mustache. Ooh, it looks great, though. It looks so good.
You know what? Las Vegas playing for nothing, and Indy's trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. It's just that 3.5 is too much. If this was 2, I would take Indy. So, yeah, there we are. All right, here we go. Carolina Panthers at the Jacksonville Jaguars -6. GT, we'll start with you.
I'm with the Panthers, man. They fighting for something. I don't know if they're fighting just to be spoilers, but the last couple weeks, Carolina has been extremely tough.
That's true.
And Jacksonville don't know what the heck they're doing. And Trevor is banged up. And he don't have enough composure when the chips are down. Give me the doggone Panthers.
I'm taking Jacksonville because they're leading their division. They're trying like hell to win it, and they're at home. So I think they win by more than 6. Russ, what do you got?
Yeah, I got Jacksonville too, because this is the NFL and they're at the bottom. And I think that they're going to figure it out. They have to against Carolina. It's the worst team in the NFL. What an embarrassment. You don't deserve to be in the playoffs if you don't win this game.
Tennessee at Houston, -4.5. Russ, who you got?
Tennessee at Houston.
Remember, just a couple weeks ago, Houston went into Tennessee and won a thriller at the end without C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud expected to play in this game, and Houston's at home, and they're a 4.5-point favorite against the Titans.
Give me the Titans and the points.
Tough division game. GT, what about you?
Yeah, Nico Collins about to get off, y'all. I'm with Houston and CJ's game back.
Holy crap, you guys. Making this one really, really hard. It's a division game. I'm going to ride with Russ because that's 4.5 points in a division game. All right. Los Angeles Rams at New York Giants, +5.5. So this is the Giants are a home underdog by 5.5. The Rams are favored. What do you got, Russell?
Oh my God, Matt Stafford is gonna roll, smack. Give me the Rams minus. It could be 10. I mean, the Rams are gonna punk them.
I'm going to take the Giants for one reason, because I think the Rams are looking past this game. They have San Francisco in the last game of the year. I think they're going to take the Giants too lightly. I'm going to go ahead and take the Giants because I'm an idiot. What do you got, G?
I'm taking the Giants for a different reason. It's something about Tyrod. Tyrod is a spread beater. He may not win the game, but he is a spread beater.
He is a spread beater.
Give me the Giants.
He's a spread beater.
You always make me go first. Okay, make me go first. Okay.
He's a spread beater. Ray Rice is a wife beater. Here we go. So Arizona at Philadelphia, -12. Philly's at home, -12. They still haven't played a good game all year. Even though they're 11-4, they haven't played a good game all year. Arizona folded last week. I'm taking Philly just because Arizona sucked so bad last week. They got beat by 11 by the Bears. They're definitely going to get beat by 12 by Philly.
I'm going to agree with you. And I'm not going to be so hard on the Arizona Cardinals. I'm going to give more credit to the Philadelphia Eagles on this. I mean, they have had some down games. This is a perfect team right here that's wounded, and Kyler is a perfect type of person that can have a bad game against this good Philadelphia defense. They get right in this game. Yeah, they cover that, and maybe even more. This is a blowout win for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, I don't think they know what a blowout is this year without them coordinators in Philadelphia. They win the game, but they don't win by that much. Give me the Cardinals.
He's taking Arizona.
All
right.
I like that call too, G. I do. I like that, and I can see that. They could get it close, you know. It's always dangerous with all these points, Mike.
I know.
I don't side with you very many times on that, but
and on that note, this next game brings that into question as well. It's a tough division battle. New Orleans at Tampa Bay, -2.5. The Baker Mayfield's favored by 2.5 points against the bum Derek Carr.
I'll go first. Anybody want to jump on that? I'll go. How about Tampa Bay? Tampa Bay is the best team in that division, and they're going to separate themselves. There you go.
Yeah, I'm with the Tampa Bakers too.
Also, I am also going with Tampa. They're leading their division. They can slam the door with a win here and a Chicago win. Tampa can win the division. So I mean, what a great story. Gotta love Baker Mayfield. I love that guy, man. I love that guy.
Yep.
Ever since that one time in college, he simulated like he was shitting on the other team's logo. I just love that guy. All right. San Francisco 49ers at arguably the worst team in the league, the Washington Commanders. Washington's a home underdog by 12.5 points. I've bet on Washington like the last 3 weeks in a row, figuring they're going to come out of this tailspin, figuring that they're going to put something together. No team can just keep losing like this, the way that they're losing. But I can't do it anymore. I'm going to take San Francisco to win by 2 touchdowns. The spread is 12.5. Russ, what do you like?
Well, I just want to go against you just because you were 3-12. So I got to go against that. I'm just going to take Washington in the points, and I have really no reasoning to do that other than,
against the Niners.
against the Niners because I just want to throw some bad mojo that way. We want that 1 seed, man. Maybe they can trip up. Maybe they can stumble a little bit right here.
All right, I like that. Betting with his heart. What do you got, G?
Yeah, Washington is another one of the teams that I'm following throughout the season on And We Know Sports. I call them the salamanders because they slimy, y'all. They don't know how to get it done, and you don't know what they're going to do. The 49ers are pissed.
Yeah.
And they love blowing people out, dude. They might beat them by 20 or more, dude. I'm with the San Francisco 49ers in this one.
And interestingly, salamander kind of rhymes with commander. So I like that. All right. Pittsburgh Steelers coming off a big win last week, keeping their playoff hopes alive at the Seattle Seahawks. Man, what a tough game for Pittsburgh to have to run into week 17 at Lumen Field in Seattle. Seattle's favored by 3.5. G, what do you got?
Man, I got Seattle, man. It's some problems, some conflict going on in the team as far as the Steelers. I even heard that Pickett is actually ready, but he still ain't gonna play, type situation. So give me Seattle. They got something to fight for.
Mm-hmm. Trying to keep their playoff hopes alive right now. They are in the mix, and they could use this win against Pittsburgh for sure. What do you got, Russ?
I'm gonna take Pittsburgh. I would not. I mean, that's too many points. Right
3.5. The way Pittsburgh played last week, Mason Rudolph had the best game of his life. But this is going to be on the road in one of the hardest stadiums to play against a team that is not a slouch. So I like your pick, though, Russ. You're taking Pittsburgh, and you're getting 3.5
I'm betting
points.
on Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin's one of the greatest coaches of all time. I can't believe I just want to be able to stick it in Pittsburgh Steeler fan face and say, what the hell are you thinking that you would even want to get rid of Mike Tomlin? That is the dumbest thing I have ever heard of in my life. Give me Mike Tomlin.
If Mike Tomlin was the coach of the Lions, we'd have a statue of him outside of Ford Field right now. That's absolutely true. All right, here we go. 2 games left. The Cincinnati Bengals at the Kansas City Taylor Swifts. Kansas City is favored by 7. Who you like, Russ?
Kansas City is favored by 7?
Because they're at home and they're playing the shitty Bengals.
But no, Kansas City's favored by 7, not the Bengals.
Kansas City's at home, favored by 7 against the shitty Bengals.
Against the shitty Bengals. Yeah, give me the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll take the minus on the points because Patrick Mahomes just has this knack of all of a sudden right before the playoffs, all of the problems that he was having in the season that everyone's going to talk about. It's going to turn into a fireworks show. It's about time for the real Chiefs to stand up.
I agree because Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes specifically hates no team more than these Bengals. These Bengals beat him like 3 times in a row, and he has a chip on his freaking shoulder about it. I think Kansas City definitely covers the 7 at home. What do you got, G?
Before I woke up today, I had Kansas City, and you can give doggone Cincinnati all of the doggone points you want, but then I heard Jamar Chase talking shit. Wow, y'all. I'm like, dude, you ain't got your quarterback. Burrow ain't there. Okay. And I kind of like what Browning has been doing.
It's my quarterback.
Kansas City wins the game, but not by 7. So I'm with the Bengals.
I love that call, man. It's a good call. And just to back up real quick, we do have one more game to preview, but one of our commenters here put Jalen Waddle. This is breaking news by Steve Israel. Jalen Waddle isn't playing Sunday. Does that change either one of your guys's Baltimore and Miami? You guys, never mind. I'm the only one that took.
That's right.
So I guess it doesn't matter.
I was about to say what?
Okay, yeah, right. Just enhances. I might want to change mine now since I know.
Can we move that point spread up?
Right. Last game on the slate today, fellas, and I will start. It is the Los Angeles Chargers at the Denver Broncos. Denver sitting Russell Wilson. Easton Stick. I'm going to ride with Easton Stick. I think Sean Payton and the Broncos are looking like shit right now. They've lost the last 2 after a beatdown in Detroit. I just think the 3.5, maybe the Chargers could keep it close. What do you got, Russell?
Oh God, this is ugly. This is an ugly game. Who's getting the points? Who's getting the points?
Denver's at home and they're giving up 3.5. So the Chargers are the underdog.
Oh yeah, give me the Chargers. Give me the points. in a division game. Thank you.
And G, you're our guest, so we'll let you go last on the picks here. Who you got?
It is blatantly out there in the world how horrible Sean Payton has treated doggone Russ. And I think the team is going to show it. I think the Chargers blow their ass out. They're going to get sticked.
So you think that you think that because Sean Payton treated Russ like crap, the rest of the team is going to rebel against the coach for that?
The rest of the team is not going to be focusing. They're not going to intentionally. It's just like the Kansas City Chiefs receivers dropping the ball. They're not dropping it intentionally. It's just a psychological thing, you know.
And you think with that drama unfolding with Russ and Sean Payton that they're not going to be focused in practice. They're not going to be prepared enough for this Charger team, who played really well last week.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
All right, so all three of us got the Chargers against the Broncos. All right, I like it. So there you have it, folks. There's our predictions. Do with them what you will, but we got to get lock picks. Hey, Russ, you got a lock pick this week?
Oh, gosh. I don't even know. Oh, shoot. I forgot.
49ers?
San Francisco. Only you and I went, and so, G, you like that as a lock?
Yep.
All right, over Washington, 12.5 is his lock. You got a lock there, Russell?
Gosh. Man, I don't even remember. Oh gosh, I should have. I didn't even think about the locks. Go back through my.
You got You got. I'll give you. I know you like big point spreads. You took New England getting 13 at Buffalo. Okay.
Oh yeah. Give me that. Give me Belichick. That's way too many fucking points for a division game. That's an easy.
Going down on that one, boy. Every time I bet on New England this year, they killed me.
You're not the Swami.
I am not the Swami. You are the Swami. Absolutely, 100%. My lock for the week is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs.
I'm going to regret that. Damn it.
The Kansas City Chiefs are tired of people talking about them. There's a horrible memes going on around how they're crumbling and they're terrible. By the way, folks, they're leading their division. They are the reigning Super Bowl champs. I'm going to take that as my lock pick. Kansas City giving up 7 against Cincinnati. So there you go. Do with it what you like. Those are our picks. Don't forget, folks, last year, Russell Wayne was 13 out of 18 on his lock pick. So that's an incredible record. Do we want to go to these comments before we sign off today?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Woody says his lock pick is Cardinals over the Eagles, but they aren't playing each other, Woody. So that's not going to go well.
It's a lock.
Sarah says, Mike, make sure you write it down or Russ will deny picking it again. Funny, Sarah. And just to let you know, he called me this morning and said, I went back and looked at it and you were right.
Yeah.
He did pick Chicago to win the game.
I did pick Chicago to win the game, though.
He did.
We were both right, but I lose money in that. And that's what I want to put out there for people that are betting. Be sure that you understand what that point spread means. That means that you're giving another team. That means that that team can win and you can still lose your money, even though you're picking your right guys.
Oh, glad to
see.
Who
are the Eagles playing? They're not playing the Cardinals? Who are
the Eagles? Oh. I'm sorry. One of these guys in the comments got me all flustered over here. You're right, Woody. They do play the Eagles. Arizona plays the Eagles. He wrote Sheagles on there.
Oh, my God.
So I thought that was Seattle for some reason. He put Sheagles and not Eagles. Bear down Mike likes Pittsburgh over the Eagles.
I say more dumb things before 9 a.m. than most people say all day.
Glad to see Pull Peters in the comments. Be sure to show up on Monday, Pull, so I can give you a piece. He says, doesn't Mike look like he makes love like a walrus? I don't know. Ask your mom. Anyway, moving on.
Oh, no.
We're going to bite a kneecap off.
And it looks like that's the only thing worth. We got Adam Hurley back in the comments. You can't hang with me if you can't talk about nasty farts, and you can't hang with my crew if you can't talk about amplified sitting down farts. Oh, we are just full of some geniuses in the comments today, Ross. What is it about Friday?
Hey, TGI Friday. Everybody been working all week long, been busting their ass. They want to come in, talk some trash about their football team.
I love it. Show up on Monday nights, because we do have a show on Monday night where it's not a safe space like it is here. And that's every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time. It's called the NFC North Open Mic, hosted by yours truly and produced by the maestro Russell Wayne, where we love to deal out and dole out these kind of comments to each other. In fact, I've run all the soft-ass Packer fans out already. So if you're a soft-ass Packer fan, come in on Monday and come get a piece. Speaking of Packer fans, it's our good friend A-Dub in the comments. Good morning, A-Dub. Glad to see you here. And I think that's all we got.
You know what I think that we should do and start this year annually? And it came to me a little bit earlier before I even be signed on today, is we're going to have our own, Football Talk with Russell Wayne Main Event 365 Fan Awards. Who is the best fan? Like right now, A-Dub, he has to be a shoo-in for Packer Fan of the Year on this broadcast. He's been here every week making comments and supporting his team, being realistic, nice, articulate. But no, we want to have greatest fan. Who's representing their team better?
I got to give it to Fred Peterson by virtue of him being one of our Patreons.
There you go. There you go. The ones that get the ones that help us out financially. Yeah, I guess that you would get rushed to the top of the list right there. Patreon / Villain Squad. You can be part of our villain network and help us grow. Help us grow, man. We love talking football.
I think Viking Fan of the Year has to go to Sarah.
Yeah.
She's trolling the Packers now. Hi, Steve. I sense a 10-year extension for Joe Barry.
Yeah. And I would have to say that Bear Fan is that one's a little bit harder, but I think Bear Down Mike is 100%.
Gotta be Bear Down Mike.
But Bears did have the best representation on this program, especially during the downtime. They came in every week, talked their trash. Honorable mentions out there, to like Woody and Rajneesh. They had some guys that were representing on a weekly, but Bear Down Mike takes the cake, man. I think they were 0-5 or something like that, and he's in there. Yeah, I don't care. F those L's. I don't care. I'm here. Bear down. Like he's like, hell yeah. That's how you fan, baby.
Yeah, I got to put my new hot water heater in. I got to jump off. Love you guys all. Go Lions. God bless each and every one of you. I'm out, Russ. We'll see you on Monday. Bye,
Peace, Mike.
All right. That is my friend right there. Main Event Mike. You can see him on Monday nights. You want to come get a piece? He loves talking trash. I like talking trash. See, I like talking trash, G, but Mike loves talking trash. He takes it to a completely different level. He ran all those Packer fans out of here. It was the funniest thing that I've ever seen. You remember some of the shows during the summertime? Before I had a waiting list of people on the Smack Talk, and it was all Packer fans. And then they lose, and all of a sudden they just started going into witness protection.
Oh, they laughed at me like crazy about my 12-5 prediction of the Lions. I remember that. I will never forget that. I got receipts.
But that's all right. We got the receipts. And we invite them in here, but that's why I give so much credit to a guy like A-Dub. A-Dub represents the Packers, and he follows that team every single day. He's probably one of the greatest Packer fans that I've ever seen. He shows up on a show that talks trash after losses and acknowledges it. When we whooped them in Lambeau, A-Dub was the first person on here to say congratulations. And then Robert, he said congratulations. Steve is real. Yeah, he said congratulations. But A-Dub has been there the entire time. That's why I got to give him the nod in that way. And Bear Down Mike, man, here, let me get some music in here. When it's just me and you, man, it just feels we got to have our chill in there.
Yeah.
But it is nice to know that the Lions can count on some third-year guys while we're going into this, because I'm going to transition because I want to put my Ifatu shout out in here. It is so cool. Like during the middle of the season, I had access to Ifatu Melifanu, and I just wanted to say thank you because he got back so quickly. When I asked to give a shout out for the show, said that we were just fans underground. And to know that you go out there in these last 2 games and you've been balling, my friend. He's a 4th round draft pick, 6'3", drafted as a cornerback. But you know Aaron Glenn, he said he likes he wants a safety that can cover. So he spent a year and a half as a cornerback, and then they transitioned him to safety. And you have now paid dividends for that, my friend. And we appreciate the shout out. And then we're going to transition into the last call.
What's up, y'all? This is Ifatu Melifanu, safety for the Detroit Lions. And I just want to take some time out to give a big shout out to Russell Wayne and Main Event Mike from the Detroit Lions Villain Squad. It's a fan page and a podcast. And I just want to say I appreciate the support of me and my team. And I encourage everyone to go check out their podcast and check out their fan page. Go Lions.
Yeah, how cool is that? How cool is that? And then you go ball out like you did. Yep. And then you ball out.
Yep. But it truly exemplifies the faith that the doggone Villain Squad had in him when he hadn't balled out.
Absolutely, man. The one of the coolest things about really diving deep, doing 3 in-depth draft shows, diving into all of these players in great detail the last 3 years is like you get to know these guys, not just the guys that are on our team, but guys that we wanted that ended up on other teams. And you fall in love with these guys. Ifatu Melifanu was one of the ones that we love. Man, one of those guys that we thought was going to get drafted early and was just there for us. And
you know who it was this year was Branch.
Brian Branch was the guy this year.
He was the guy this year, y'all. We got a lot of first-year players that are contributing. Laporta, Gibbs, I love it.
I think that Brad Holmes is going to go down as the greatest general manager of all time. Call me a homer. Call me a homer, because I know that the other fan bases are listening. Call me a homer, but who hits like he is hit? I mean, now that there's some proof that some of these first-year guys, even the developmental stuff is working, okay? The first draft class with Penei Sewell. You got Levi Onwuzurike. Now, Levi Onwuzurike, you could probably call, I don't know what you call a bust, but this guy is on the team contributing at this point. Aleem McNeil is having his best year. And then now Ifatu Melifanu, they drafted in the 4th round. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Who hits like that? And in the second year, Aiden Hutchinson, Josh Paschal, both these guys making an impact. 3rd round, Kirby Joseph, starting safety. 4th round, James Mitchell. That's a hit or miss, whatever, but he's still on the team. Malcolm Rodriguez, James Houston. Who hits like that?
Malcolm killing it on doggone special teams and as a fullback.
Now, you know for a fact that no matter what team that you're representing, that you go into these drafts, you can get 2 or 3 guys that are impact players on your team, that would be a win. I know that. I know that, but to have a guy that's hitting on a clip where he had 5 impact players, and now 5 impact players again. 5 impact players, not just guys. Panay Sewell, the first pick right there. This guy is the best right tackle in football. Aleem McNeil was playing at a top 10 clip. He's going to come back from injury. He had 5 sacks. Second on the team. That's your 3rd round pick. Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to be an all-pro. He is top 5 at his position. You could argue top 5. I understand that. But you can't argue top 10 at this point. It's in yards, receptions. The guy can block. He does it all. Those are fun. I mean, you get 3 all-pros in a draft. Then you go into where you got Hutchinson. I mean, he could be a special player. I mean, you're expecting that. Second round, you got Josh Pascal. The guy's, he sets an edge. He's been injured. You can't call a bust because of injury. You can if that's all it is. But now that he's came back, the talent's showing up. It's not like it isn't there. Josh Pascal, Kirby Joseph. And then look at this draft this year. Holy crap. Brian Branch, Sam Laporta. People trying to argue me that we should have just taken Jordan, or what's his name? Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
For Jalen Carter. It's ridiculous. It was the right move. They made the right move. That was the best move for the organization going forward. That's my GM. You're going to have to deal with that. The best young core in the NFL by far. The defense isn't perfect. It's by far not absolute perfection. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't have the potential. And it could blossom this year. What if that defense takes a step over the next 2 weeks? And that's completely possible. Offense doesn't need to take a step. Even at the offense, when it's not doing good, it still puts points up. Even when it sucks, it's good. Now the defense, gosh, you could take a big step forward with the defense. Don't you think, G? That's the biggest room for improvement.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
6-0. 6-0 when Frank the Tank play. When he played a game.
Yeah. Woo! I'm so hyped for Saturday night, my brother. Ah!
Yeah, it's a big game. It's a big game. And we asked that question earlier. Do the Lions need this win? I mean, the people from the outside have been moving the goalpost all year long. Well, yeah, it was a nice win, but they need to did it. Oh, that's a nice win, but they did it. Oh, that was good, but they did it. It's been that 11 times. And now the goalpost is now they got to beat. Now they have to win this game, or it's like it would be a career-defining moment for Dan Campbell to go in to Dallas, Jerry's world. I mean, he has tremendous respect for the Dallas Cowboys and their history, and you know, not just Jerry Jones, but you know, the coaching trees. Jimmy Johnson. He has huge respect for Jimmy Johnson. And to go down there and play this type of meaningful game, it means a lot to Dan Campbell. But do they need this win?
I need this win.
You
And
need
I'm gonna
it.
tell you why, Russ. My mom got me a Christmas present. When I opened it up, she don't know she bought this for me to wear when the Lions beat the Cowboys. But I'm gonna blow her mind when I put it on And We Know Sports.
Well, do tell.
You're gonna have to see it, Russ. It's so out there, dude. It's crazy, but my mom has a knack for buying me some crazy clothing that just really hasn't hit the fashion world yet. It's always way ahead of the time, but somehow it totally depicts a Lions win over the Cowboys.
Well, we asked Taylor Decker and Jahmyr Gibbs, what is the secret to success? And this is what they had to say.
Here's the thing, though. What I've been doing is 3:30 every morning. That's I get up and I do my sprints. Yeah, I mean, those are prime sprinting hours. People don't realize. And that's how I know I'm succeeding, is if I'm doing my sprints while everyone else is asleep. It's a winning mindset is what it is. That's exactly what it is.
So it's a winning mindset. That's what the whole thing is. I mean, if you get up at 3:30 in the morning, you're doing your sprints when everybody else is sleeping. That's the winning mindset. I'm corny as hell, guys. That's what I do here. And this is a weekday thing. Every day. Every weekday. Football talk, NFC North. We focus on the NFC North. We're Lions fans here. Grove, myself, Main Event Mike, we're Lions fans, but we understand. We want to understand about our enemy, you know? And plus, we're not really enemies. I love you guys, man. I love you as football fans. You can't help that you follow a shitty team. That's not your fault. I'm not going to take it out on you. I still like you. But a little review of the things that we've been talking about today. Here's the Vikings versus the Packers. This is big. 7-8 versus 7-8. This is a playoff game, playoff elimination game. Loser's going to go kick rocks. And they're going to be worrying about next year. They're going to be looking at mock drafts and stuff. The winner still has a shot to get into the playoffs. I love that game. Who do you got? I want to know in the comments. And then you got the Lions. Got the Lions going down to Jerry's World, getting a revenge week. These are games that the Lions have already been chalked in as L's right here. What happens if the Lions win a game like this? That's the question right there. Who do you got in that one? And then you got the Falcons and the Bears. This is a playoff elimination game too. The Bears don't have a great chance to get into the playoffs, but they do. And they have to win. They have to win. The Falcons, they have to win. Loser could kick rocks. They both might end up kicking rocks. But it's been a fun day here with my partner. Grove, Flaboom, GT, Teague, the fourth, Sir Slap Nasty from And We Know Sports. And he's my partner in my Tool tribute.
That's right.
Now, I know there are some fans out there of all these other teams that are not only are they a fan of their team, whether you're a Packer fan, Viking fan, Bear fan, Lion fan, that is also a fan of the band Tool. Being like, I am just a worthless liar. Woo! I am just an imbecile. Woo! I will only complicate you. Woo! Trust in me and fall as well. Woo! We want to find a center in you, and a center will be there on February 17th at the Machine Shop in Flint, Michigan. And if you show up at any of our shows, like my show tonight, if you show up at my show, I'm going to give you a ticket to this show because you came out and supported me. Mike said that too. And you let me know, G. You got somebody to come out and support your fusion gigs or anything? You just got to send Toolology to Bill, you know? Because if they're supporting our gigs, then Toolology's got their back. Toolology ain't gonna charge anybody anything for that.
Yeah, I got
Support music.
I may need a couple for cat at my job that I met, man. It's really cool people. I think he's gonna be coming out to the show.
So if you like Tool, comment what your favorite Tool song is in the comments right now. And I want to know if we're even on the same page. Because we have a very, very good Tool tribute band that's opening. We have there's 2 Tool tribute bands that are playing here. Retooled from Detroit is going to come up and play some of the older stuff, and we're going to play some of the newer stuff. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. But this is a bunch of football fans on here. But football and music go well. They have my whole career. I know that's been that way for you too, G. You get off the stage on your break, you be looking at sports. That's what we're looking at. So, but faith, family, and football, man. Infusion, food, whatever you want, whatever tickles your fancy right there. But faith, family, and football. We start with faith because that's the most important thing. We appreciate anybody that helped us out, that went into and gave to NTC. They're doing great things there. I'm so proud of my church. Pastor Kevin Galloway. They gave away 400 turkeys at Thanksgiving. We were able to help over 100 families for Christmas. And this wasn't just handing them one present with like a G.I. Joe with a Kung Fu grip. There was almost 100 families that got Christmases for that wouldn't have been able to afford it otherwise. Thank you to everybody that gave for that, because there's no better gift than hope and faith. And faith, that's why faith is first, because it doesn't matter what team you represent. It doesn't matter who wins a game. We're all together in this thing. We've been together in this thing, whether you want to, and this is why this is number 1 on the list right here. Faith, family, and football. That's easy. That's easy. That's just a matter of watching some football games with the people that you love. Football and family work very well together, and make sure that it's in that order. Use football. Don't let football use you. Right there. And we appreciate you guys for watching us each and every morning right here.
Yes.
Football Talk with Russell Wayne, Grove Teague, Main Event Mike, the Main Event 365. God bless you guys. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again. And we're going to meet again. We're going to meet again on Monday when we talk about all these games. Okay?
Yes.
I might even go live a couple times over the weekend if I get too excited about this thing. But God bless you. I'll talk to you soon.
It reminds me of a football show, Football Talk with Russell Wayne, 11 a.m. in the mornings. You should watch it because it could be good for you. It could be good for you. It could be good for your life.
What's going on, Russell Wayne and the Main Event 365 Network? This is Jason Kabenda from the Detroit Lions. Here to give y'all a shout out, man. We appreciate all the support, man. Know you guys are big fans. Know that you guys are rooting for us to take the North this year, and we're going to do just that, man. Appreciate you guys so much. Just want to give y'all a shout out. Y'all have a great day.